Yo, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Ken's TV in the house like kitchen sinks. Now, before I get into this afternoon's video, if you will, y'all jump in the comment section. Let me know where you're chiming in from. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. Let me know your city, your state, your hood, your set, whatever it may be that you're representing. And let us know if you're the man or the woman that you say you be. You know, that was something that's really been on my mind as of late. And I just wanted to touch upon it, if you will. Not hating on anybody, not wishing any sort of bad luck or anything of the sorts on anyone. But you have a lot of these people that are so-called famous, whether they're entertainers, whether they're athletes, and a lot of them just to feel as though the law don't apply to them. You see, these people are regular people the same way that you and I are. They put their pants on one leg at a time the same way that you and I do. I'm assuming you all put your pants on one leg at a time. So I'm watching Vlad TV. I'm watching Vlad TV, right? There's a couple of these individuals that are on Vlad TV. A lot of people say, oh man, when you go on Vlad TV, man, the police is always going to get you. Vlad TV is the law. Vlad TV is the police. You have free will when you go on Vlad TV. Now, this video is not about Vlad TV per se. But it kind of makes me cringe when I hear people say that, because when you go on Vlad, you have the ability to say, hey, Vlad, don't bring this up. I don't want to talk about this. You tell him that before the cameras start rolling. People openly talk about their cases, but they'll be like, oh, well, Vlad shouldn't even ask people. But you have the ability to say, Vlad, I don't want to talk about that. People never do it. Why? Because they have to keep themselves relevant. They have to keep their name in the algorithm. They have to keep their name in the mix. Lil Boosie, for instance. I like Lil Boosie. No hate. I'm not hating on anybody. I rocks with Lil Boosie. But you get on Vlad TV and you tell your business and you tell about the things that you used to do and you a gangster this and how you hate police and F the prosecutors and the sheriffs and then when you find yourself in a situation to where they charge you for your actions, the things that you did, you had that gun in your back at the video shoot. Nobody made you do that. You know that as a convicted felon, which I think it sucks. I think it's absolutely terrible. But the law is the law, and the law applies to you as well, Lil Boosie. For you all that are not familiar, Lil Boosie is a rapper. You can look him up, Lil Boosie. Most people know who he is, but, you know, some people don't like hip-hop. But he's a rapper that got caught with a gun at a video shoot in San Diego, I believe, a couple years ago. Charges ultimately got dismissed. Then they came back up with some sort of law that the feds always have a law that they can just pretty much just make up on the spot. Charges got dismissed. They came back and recharged him again, added a charge. And now he's going to federal prison. He's about to take a plea deal, I believe, at the end of this month. He'll have a couple months, 2 or 3 months to get his affairs in order. That's what they typically do in the feds. He's facing 5 to 10. They have sentencing guidelines in the feds, so, you know, it's up to the judge to, you know, at his discretion. I'm not even sure if he's facing 5 to 10, but I'm thinking that he'll probably get 2 or 3 years. Well, all this street stuff that you talk, all this stuff that you talk in your music, all these comments that you made on Vlad TV, now you're on the internet crying. I understand you're going to miss your kids. Come on, kids, take it easy on him. He going to miss his kids. I mean, I missed mine for 11 years. Several other people are in penitentiary right now, missing theirs for, 20, 30 years. We all have choices. And so, once we make those choices and the consequences come our way, don't cry about it. You a gangster. You street. Be street about it. I understand you're going to miss your kids. But your situation is a lot better than probably 99% of the other individuals that are incarcerated. You got money. You got time and you've had time to get your affairs in order. You're going to have more time. Your kids are straight. You got properties. You got cars. You got money. So, yeah, it's going to be painful for you to have to be away. But guess what? That time will pass. That time will pass. But don't get on here acting as though you're some sort of a victim. Well, the law's not fair. A lot of laws are not fair. But we have a choice. Either we follow them and we stay out, or we don't follow them and we go in and then complain about the man ain't treating us right. The truth of the matter is, Lil Boosie, you got plenty of bread. You got plenty of dope. You could have had security. I understand that security is not going to protect you the way that you're going to protect you. But why put yourself in a predicament to where you're even going to need a pistol? Now, I understand these days and times, you need a pistol just going to the gas station, taking your trash out, going to the grocery store, going to church. I get it. But why heighten the risk? Why heighten the possibilities by being in these situations, dangerous situations? I know it's how you get your money. You're not that, you're a known artist, so I'm not, no disrespect whatsoever. So you having to go into some of these neighborhoods and you know, gang infested neighborhoods or whatever to shoot. But why do you have to go there? I understand you trying to keep it real. I get it. It's heighten your security. It's messed up how they got you. Somebody was going live on Instagram. For y'all that don't know the story, somebody was going live on Instagram. For y'all that don't believe it, the police do watch social media. They watch all of that. They see, oh, Boosie got a gun in his back. He's a convicted felon. They pull his truck over as he's leaving the video shoot. And from there, they got him. You could say that it's your securities all day long. Guess what? Security dude wasn't trying to take the gun charge for whatever reason. If you security, but it didn't matter because they already zoomed in on the gun. Technology is a MF. They already got you on video with the gun. So you can't really deny having the gun. It's a messed up situation. I feel for him, but he's going to get through it. Shout out to Lil Boosie. But all the crying on the internet, man, you ain't no better than nobody else. You a normal individual. If I got caught with one, which I don't have one, but I'm saying in the event that I had one, I get caught, guess what? I'm going to have to go do my time. I ain't never killed none to let nothing die. All my crimes are white collar, non-violent. But guess what? The rules say that I'm not supposed to have a gun. I think it's very messed up. But that's just what it is. So I got a choice. Take my chances or abide by what they tell me. If I take my chances, I get caught up, guess what? I got to take my medicine, man. Take your medicine, Lil Boosie, and I say that in the most respectful manner. You got this former NBA player, Sebastian Telfair. He was a high draft pick back in the day. I want to say in the 90s. Straight out of high school. Sebastian was great. He's a legend in New York. I forget what part of New York that he's from. Y'all jump in the comment section, let me know. Because I got a lot of people. Shout out to New York. And a lot of people that frequent the channel that's from New York. Bronx, Brooklyn, Harlem, my bad. Man, upstate New York. You're all familiar with Sebastian Telfair. Well, he got caught up in there was a scheme going on, some sort of healthcare fraud, and a bunch of NBA players got caught up, and he was one of them. Former NBA player that was used to the lifestyle, made millions and millions and millions of dollars, took care of his family, took care of his hood, took care of his friends. His NBA career never really panned out the way that it was supposed to. Sebastian wasn't quite 5'11". I believe that if he could have made it to the 5'11 pinnacle, he would have been straight in the NBA. Nevertheless, he made millions of dollars. See, when you are used to living a certain type of lifestyle, which I've never lived that lifestyle, but I've been street rich before, hood rich. $70,000, $80,000 at 22 years old, all from the streets, didn't owe nobody nothing. In the 90s, that was nice money. Hell, it's nice money now, and I wish I had it now. I'm going to get there, though. But nevertheless, I was used to being able to go buy and do whatever I wanted to do within reason. Then when that money was gone, guess what? I turned to the streets. I turned to the criminal lifestyle because I couldn't really see me going to get no job again, which I should have. But I was just used to that $400-500 a week back then. It just wasn't nothing. And that was stupid. That was stupid of me. I take full accountability for the ignorance. That was ignorant of me. But the point that I'm making is I was used to that lifestyle. Just being able to go and do whatever I wanted to do within reason. And once that money was gone, I missed it. I missed the lifestyle. So I turned to crime. Quick money. But guess what it landed me at? In penitentiary. 4-time loser, over 11 years served in the Kentucky Department of Corrections. And there's nothing proud. I'm not proud of that whatsoever. I'm proud of the person that I'm becoming. I'm proud of the fact that I'm no longer indulging and engaging in activities that I once did. But you know, people say I wouldn't change it. If I had a chance to go back and do it all over again, I wouldn't change it. Shit, I would. I would. And so you have this Sebastian guy. He, like I said, he got caught up. They gave him probation. They rarely give you probation in the feds, but he gets probation. He has stipulations. I think he was on probation in the state and the feds. Part of your stipulations, you have to have a job, income, verifiable income. We're going to drug test you. We got you doing community service. You got to pay this money back. And it's a contract, and you sign it. You agree to that. When you find out that you're getting probation, you agree to all of these stipulations. It's ran down to you, and you sign it. You agree. Well, Sebastian often would get technicalities. A technicality when you're on probation or parole just means you're not doing what you're supposed to do, and we can lock you up in the county jail 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, depending on how long the PO wants to lock you up for. It's called a sanction, actually. And it's not called technicalities. Technicalities like when you beat a case on a loophole or something like that. But you all get the gist of what I'm trying to say. The guy wasn't barely reporting to his PO. When he would go and report, they would have him do community service, or they would ask for his form, because like when you do community service, you have to have the people sign it, how long you was there, what days you were there. He didn't have that. He didn't want to get a job. Now, I understood this part about the job. His PO was trying to make him go to like McDonald's or somewhere and get a job. He's like, man, I look like working at McDonald's, man. I'm Sebastian Telfair, man. They gonna clown me if I work at McDonald's. I have a job. No, it's not a 9 to 5, but I do interviews. I do speaking engagements. I'm showing you $5,000 checks, $10,000 checks that I've gotten for going to do these engagements. They wanted him to say no. No, that's not a job. So I agree with him on that. They wanted him to go clock in, work 40 hours, and come and show a pay stub. And he refused to do so. After several attempts to make him, do those things, they violated him and told him he had to go on and do it 6 months. So I see this guy and his brother on Vlad TV once again. Vlad's asking him, the intricacies of his case as far as why he has to go back in. And he's saying these things like, everything that I just ran down to you all. My thing is this. Because he got to talking about how he loves his kids so much and he has young kids, and how's he going to explain to them, although 6 months is not a long time, 6 months is a long time to a kid. A kid that's accustomed to you being around every single day. And so you're getting on Vlad TV and you're complaining about it, but my thing is this, bro. Again, you signed the contract. You knew the stipulations. If you really love your kids, and I'm speaking not directly at him, I'm just saying in general, me, everybody, if we love our kids that much, we're never going to do anything to jeopardize not being around our kids. I know you Sebastian Telfair, but guess what? That judge, that prosecutor, that PO, they don't give a damn about you being Sebastian Telfair. Okay, you was a hero coming up in the hood and you did some great things and went to the NBA. You made history and you beat the odds. But at this point, your NBA days are long gone. Now you mad at the NBA. And he's like, man, F the NBA. What are you mad at the NBA for? Why are you upset at the NBA? That bug's flying on me. I know how the internet is. They see me doing like this. Man, Kansas tweaking. You mad at the NBA and talking bad and cussing them out for a dumb decision that you made. Talking about there's no victim. It's always a victim. I used to think that way. I'm doing these counterfeit checks, counterfeit money. The individuals that was accepting the counterfeit checks, whether it's the banks or the stores or whatever that was cashing them, or the people that were, I never wrote checks or anything. I sold checks. I sold counterfeit money. Well, people were spending that counterfeit somewhere. So there's always a victim in a case. So when you talk about there's no victims, I understand what you're trying to say. Nobody got hurt, nobody. But no, there's always a victim. And it sounds as though you're not taking accountability for your actions. So now you got to go lay it down for 6 months and you acting as though somebody did you wrong when you didn't comply with any of the terms of your probation. And when you come home, I'm not sure if you'll continue to be on probation because I'm not sure how the feds do like post-relief. But you may still be required to be supervised for another 2 years after you come home. I'm not sure, but oftentimes 2-3 years you still have to be supervised. So what are you still not gonna comply with what the people's telling you to do? I get it, it sucks. I wouldn't want to go work in McDonald's or anything. Nothing wrong with working in McDonald's. A job is a job. You're gonna work in penitentiary for free for $20 a month. You're gonna tell them when you go to the joint, man, I'm Sebastian Telfair. Not sure in the feds if they make you work. I know in the state in Kentucky, you have to have a job. You're gonna make $25, $27 a month. I think that you could have. There's better ways you could have gone about doing it. You was an NBA, bro. I'm sure you know a lot of business owners. A lot of people. It didn't have to be McDonald's. You could have went to somebody. Vlad was like, came to me, told me your situation. Look, man, I'll put you on payroll. You just need a check stub. I have you do some things or whatever. Put you on payroll. That way you be able to, But nah, you thought that because you're Sebastian Telfair, that the laws didn't apply to you like Lil Boosie thought. But guess what? Now you got to go lay down and be away from your kids for 6 months. And I hate it for you, man. Praying for you. Hope you make it through. Know you'll make it through. You're going to go to a little camp or something like that. But it's unnecessary, man. It's unnecessary. You got Faison Love. Big Worm from Friday. Y'all know Big Worm. I had to warn you too many times about my money, Smokey. Principalities. San Diego. Once again, Vlad TV. He's telling the story. He's not really telling the story. I had already seen what he was alleged to have doing, but they touched upon it on Vlad TV. Goes to a hotel, booked the hotel through a third party, I guess, booking agency, whatever the case may be. They didn't have the room for him. Allegedly. All this is alleged. He gets mad at the teller. It's a young lady. Not the teller, but, the clerk at the desk. She's trying to calmly explain to him that there's no rooms, there's nothing that she can do. What do all celebrities say? Man, you know who I am? I know who you are, sir, but there's no rooms. Allegedly, he gets mad and picks up like the credit card, thing that you scan your credit card or you tap your credit card, the credit card reader. Picks it up and hums it at her head. Allegedly. Initially, supposedly she said that he threw it in her direction. But I guess once lawyers and people got in her ear and she said that she got hit with the credit card reader and she ended up going to the hospital and suffered like a concussion and she was dizzy and she was not in her right frame of mind, all from being hit with this credit card reader. Faison Love was arrested, charged with assault, facing 7 years, made bond. He rich dude, so, bond is not a problem with him. But he goes on Vlad and he's like, man, I'm so disappointed, man. San Diego is my city. It's my favorite place ever in the world. So I was born and raised. And this happens to me in my own city. No accountability. And judges and prosecutors, they're watching this, Faison. Like, they're really, really Big Worm. They're watching this. And so when you talk about, man, I went to Atlanta, I actually had to put hands on a person. Nothing happened. Nothing happened whatsoever. I put hands on him. I assaulted a person, put hands on him, and nothing happened. But you get on Vlad and you making it seem as though because you are who you are and it's happened in your city that you're supposed to just get a pass. In my own city, I'm just so disappointed. You're a big dude, man. Big Worm. What up, Big Perm? Big Worm? You're a big dude. You got my money? That's $100. Don't play with me, Smokey. If you don't got my money, I'm killing you and him. The point that I'm making is we know who you are. We know that you're forever a celebrity. but you're not bigger than the program, and you're definitely not bigger than the criminal system. Whether you hit the young lady in the head or you didn't, I'm sure that they have cameras. I'm quite sure that they have cameras. There's cameras everywhere. Cameras can see us right now. Right now, where I'm at right now, there's a camera somewhere that can zoom in on me. I'm always assuming that everywhere I go, anytime I go and do something, that I'm being watched. I don't care if I'm inside, outside, I'm being watched. It's an eye in the sky somewhere. And so for you to act this way as though you're a victim of something that didn't take place, you can't just be humming a credit card reader if you did that. So I say allegedly, if you did these things, you can't just go humming and at a woman too. You did this to a woman? Do I think that you should be facing 7 years for assault? No. I think that's a little much. But at the same time, these are the situations that we place ourselves in. You 57 years old, dude. You should know better. You 57. Great career. I love watching your interviews on Vlad. Very funny dude. But that wasn't the best decision in the world to make. So now you have to deal with the repercussions like anybody else. If I hummed a credit card reader at somebody's head and hit them with it, guess what? I'm going to face assault charges too. No matter what city, Lexington, Louisville, whatever city that I'm in. Praying for you just as well. Hope all works out for you. Hopefully, it's able to get amended down to maybe a misdemeanor. You pay that young lady. You give her a public apology. Pay her medical bills. Gonna have to break off, you're gonna have to break off some bread. You're gonna have to come up, I don't know what it'll take. 5, 6, 700,000, I don't know. You have to break off. Maybe the charges will get dropped. I'm not sure. In Kentucky, man, once you file the charges, the Commonwealth's gonna pick it up. So if a person tries to drop the charges, it doesn't even matter. If you're not able to have the charges just, dismissed or dropped or whatever, like I said, maybe they'll admit it to a misdemeanor. You take you some anger management, get you some help for your anger. And hopefully you're able to move on, man. And stay out here with your family. You got this guy, Gilbert Arenas. Used to play in the NBA, man. Allegedly, he was having poker games in a mansion that he owned in California. Unauthorized poker games. And this is one of the pettiest charges I think I've ever seen in my life. You know how many people have poker games in their basement? Poker games in the back room at their businesses? You got, 5, 6 guys, however many people that come over every week or however often that you have your poker games, and y'all just having fun. You might have some people there that's waitresses serving drinks and food, and the feds picked the case up. The feds said that he was rolling with some, I don't know if it was Russian mobsters or some people. I don't know the intricacies of that case, so I don't really want to speak upon that too much. But I know that Gilbert Arenas got arrested by the feds, like I said, for allowing poker games at his house. These individuals that were being investigated, they were being investigated for way more serious crimes, and they just happened to be having poker games and paying him to have the poker games at his house. But the thing about Gilbert Arenas is this: he gets arrested. Not sure if he got out the same day or the next day, but he's not in jail very long. They allow him to post a $50,000 bond. He comes out of jail. He has the camera set up. Now, Gilbert Arenas, he's an online personality. He's very, very entertaining. I watch his show. Him and Kwame Brown, they beef and go back and forth, and they stay at it. Very, very funny guy, and he doesn't really take anything too serious. Like back in the day when he got caught up with the guns in the locker room and he took the charges. That was a felony. It was a felony count that he took. Very, very serious charges. Well, Gilbert never really took the charges serious. So much to where before, how players have like an intro or they, before the game when they're announcing the starting lineup or whatever. Well, when they called Gilbert Arenas his name, this guy was dancing, but he was acting like he had a gun in his hand and doing like this. And the NBA did not take too lightly. I think David Stern was still the commissioner at that point. And he got suspended for a long time, a lot of games after that. And shortly after that, he found himself out of the league. Gilbert Arenas was a beast offensively. offensively, man, Gilbert will give you 60. He'll give you 60. And he'll tell you probably, hey, Kwame Brown tells a joke about Gilbert Arenas riding up and down the highway because he got all this money, but he has nothing to do with his life. This is according to Kwame Brown. Actually, Gilbert Arenas said it. He said it on Vlad TV. He said that he would just be bored, so he would just ride up and down the highway to kill time till it was time to go pick up his kids from school. And Kwame jokes and he says that he would pull cars over. He would yell at cars as he rode past them, not pull them over, but as he speeding past them, hey, I'm Gilbert Arenas. I scored 60 on Kobe. And it's so funny the way that Kwame Brown says it, man. Shout out to Kwame Brown. Hopefully he gets his channel back. They struck his channel, and you know, he doesn't have his channel right now, but hopefully he gets it back. And shout out to Gilbert Arenas just as well. But Gilbert's kind of like a big kid, and I say this in a respectful manner. Like, he just laughs and jokes. He just wants to have a good time in life, it seems. I never met the man, but, you know, I've watched him or whatever, and it doesn't appear to be taking his case very serious. See, the thing about it, man, when the feds come for you, Gilbert, and I'm sure people have told you this, like, this is not a laughing matter. 3 counts, you're facing 5 years on each count, 15 years. You'll never get that. Once again, the feds have sentencing guidelines, so, you know, he's probably facing 0 to, I don't know, 15, 18 months, something like that. Meaning that when I say 0, you get probation, or anywhere between probation and, you know, 18 months, something like that. I don't know the exact guidelines, but he's not facing as much time as people are making it seem. Judge has to stay within the sentencing guidelines. He can't say, you know what, I'm going to make an example out of you, Mr. Arenas. I'm going to give you 5 years, 5 years, 5 years, running consecutive for 15 years. No, you can't. It doesn't work that way. But even if he is only facing 18 months, a year, whatever he's facing, like, it's serious, man. Penitentiary is not no joke, man. Even though he wouldn't be going, like, to a U.S. prison or anything like that, but still, it's time that you'll be away from your kids. Your son's about to be a big NBA star. He's about to be rich. He needs you to be there. He's probably already rich. I forgot. College players get, you know, they get these deals now. So, yeah, he's probably already well taken care of. And he needs you to be out here for him. You got a wife, family, a staff, a show. And you're talking about, I'm about to start snitching. I'm about to... Dude, if you land in prison, man, dude, see this. Oh, you a snitch? I don't care if you are at a camp. You a snitch, right? You say you gonna snitch. And you making light of it. These feds don't come... When these feds come for you, they coming. You see P. Diddy got all the money in the world. Yeah, he beat the major charges, but guess what? They still got him on something. Got railroaded. Never should have been convicted of the Mann Act, but nevertheless, they got him on something. And this man, there's no telling how much money he spent on his defense team. If I had to guess, I would say $70, $80 million. Got 10 lawyers. So now you're having to spend unnecessary money because the lawyer knows that you Gilbert Arenas, ex-NBA All-Star. He knows that you've made over $100 million in the league. So they want their money. You got to pay them several $100,000, maybe $1 million. But you laughing about it, joking, coming right out of jail as though like a federal jail is a joke. A state jail is not a joke. These feds ain't playing. They play to win, man. They play for keeps. They indicted you for a reason. They arrested you for a reason. So when you're saying, I'm not worried about it, it was just my house. So what? It was just your house. Allegedly, they feel as though you knew what was going on and you allowed this sort of activity to take place in your house. Wisen up, man. Because when they sentence you, hopefully they don't, but if they sentence you to that time, 12, 18 months, 24 months, because he seen you making a mockery and joking and laughing, thinking that it wasn't a game, or that it was a game, then maybe you'll see. Michael Vick had to go and spend 2 years in prison for dog fighting, something that is wrong, but something that he's seen coming up as a kid. Seen it every day of his life, people fighting dogs. Accused that man of having an operation. 2 years. Lost his NFL career. Michael Vick Could have potentially been a Hall of Famer. Maybe still been in the league right now as a backup. I don't know. Hundreds of millions of dollars that he lost. A couple $100 million. So they allow people to go out. They allow others to go out and shoot deer and hunt rabbits. And it's okay to do that. As long as it's the right time of the year, though. Right time of the season. Send Michael Vick to jail for 2 years for fighting dogs. And I don't agree with fighting dogs. I don't agree with that. But it's just messed up because when they want you, they're going to get you. Bill Cosby. But he spent 3 years in prison. Used testimony that they wasn't even supposed to, sworn testimony that they weren't even supposed to use against him. 30, 40 years ago, somebody saying that he was putting Quaaludes in their drinks, and could have happened. I'm not saying it well. I wasn't there. But the point that I'm making is the prosecution, they played dirty. They knew that they weren't supposed to use it, and they used it, and that's why his case got overturned. But guess what? He still had to spend 3 years in prison. Public humiliation. All the money that he spent on the defense team. Think he got any of that back? Think he got an apology? None of that. They want you. They're going to come for you. R. Kelly. I can go on and on. R. Kelly was dead wrong messing with them young girls. They knew R. Kelly was messing with young girls from day one. But to hit a man with a RICO, sex trafficking, no, he should have just got time for messing with the young girls. I could see 10 years. Gave this man 30 years in the feds. Railroaded him. If he had the money that Diddy had, he wouldn't have got railroaded. It all comes down to this, man. Not saying that you can beat every case just with money, because plenty of people that have money get convicted, but your chances are a lot higher if you got some bread. Then you look at Shannon Sharpe, last but not least. Now, Shannon Sharpe hasn't been charged with anything criminally, but you best believe they're digging. They're digging. Allegedly, I don't know, but I would guess they're digging. Allegedly, he settled out with a young lady for $23 million. Lost his $100 million deal that he had that was on the table. I don't know how he was able to settle out for $23 million, because just my opinion, I don't see how Shannon Sharpe has $23 million. Yeah, he played in the league 10, 11, 12 years, but they wasn't making money like that in the NFL then. Yeah, he's been on Fox, he's been on ESPN, but to say that Shannon Sharpe has $23 million, I don't see it. So it must be something to where it's in installments, or maybe his insurance is covering it. A lot of times you see these celebrities, they have insurance that they pay high premiums on. A lot of times it comes with like your homeowner's insurance. And a lot of people don't know about it. And if I should get sued for anything, my insurance company is going to cover it. So when we're looking and we're seeing that this person settled for this amount and that amount, sometimes it's not coming directly from them. It's coming from the insurance company. But you best believe insurance premiums are going to go way, way, way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. You got to pay a $23 million settlement. You getting a wreck in your car and it's your fault, your insurance is going to go up. And we ain't talking about nothing but a few $1,000s. But Shannon Sharpe's messing with this young lady, and a lot of people say, why was he messing? He was 52 at the time. She was 19. It's somewhere right around in that age range, allegedly. Why was you messing with a girl so young? And she just set you up, dude. You listen to the phone calls, and she's clearly recording you. Clearly somebody's listening. And you allowed yourself to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. And you got another young lady that came out with a bogus lawsuit because you all joked and said that her husband is not going to like it too much because I guess Usher was freaking on her at a concert or whatever. Now she's I can't sleep at night. I'm mentally distressed, emotionally distressed, mentally drained. He shouldn't have said that about me. Anybody that could potentially want to marry me, they'll look at this and they'll see, I need 20 million. Potentially, more women's gonna come out. Hopefully it doesn't turn criminal. But again, you best believe that they're digging, man. The laws apply to you too, Shannon Sharpe. Although you haven't broken any laws. But it's just one of those things to where you really, really got to watch. Watch what you do. Watch who you're around. Man. Watch your circle. As a son Campbell would say. It may be the very ones that'll come back and hurt you. Real Kens TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the Chit channel if you're not already subscribed. And be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Real Kens TV.